balls come first. This is a D20NN Newsbreak.
You see, 3 years ago, back in 1888, old Sheriff Bishop got cut down by Colin Brock, the most vicious cowboy in West Texas. Now Bishop's daughter Ellie, the new deputy sheriff, she is a pistol. She got one of Brock's old gangmates to turn on his crew, and there's a fixin' to be a hanging in the morning.
It sounds like your everyday tale of the Wild West, but you might want to think again. Canutillo, Texas is the setting of the latest actual play Call of Cthulhu game to grace the podcasting scene. Ain't Slayed Nobody premiered this past week, and it's available on many of your favorite podcast apps. This week, we sit down with the creator and DM of Ain't Slayed Nobody, who goes by the name Cuppy Cup. He joins us now via Sending Stone. Cup, thank you so much for joining us.
Howdy, thank you for having me on. This is my very first tabletop role-playing game podcast, so I'm pretty excited and a little bit nervous.
Hey, you know what it is for me too, so no worries. Let's start off by going into the abstract. What 3 words would you use to describe this show and why?
Oh gosh, 3 words. It's a good question. I would pick irreverent for sure. We're only 1 episode in right now, but we're having a lot of fun. And we have a lot of funny people on the show. Wes does improv, and a lot of us come from kind of humor writing backgrounds. So definitely irreverent. And because it's Call of Cthulhu and it should be scary, I think the word I'll choose second is campy. So everything is, we haven't quite picked up steam on the horror front yet, but it's coming. But everything will be a little bit exaggerated and fun, even when we do start to get a little more spooky. The last word I'll pick is produced, which I know can have negative connotations, and I don't mean to imply artificiality or anything like that, but I've been putting a lot of work into music and sound effects and just cleaning up the audio on everybody's feed and trying to make it sound as good as it possibly can. I was kind of inspired by shows that I admire, like How We Roll, and they all kind of went back and fixed their early episodes. So I told myself that if we were going to do this thing, I was going to try to have decent production value from the jump so that I didn't have to go back and fix everything later.
You know, it's a huge challenge to try and make it sound pristine from the beginning, but I think you're doing an awesome job. So keep up the good work with that. The show, or the game, I should say, is based off the source book Down Darker Trails. What led you to choose the Old West as your game setting?
Oh, that's a good question. So I was brainstorming this game with Brandon, one of our players, and he works for Fangoria, which is the famous horror magazine. And I asked him if he was interested in doing some kind of scary tabletop role-playing, and he was. And as I started to do research on Call of Cthulhu, I found Down Darker Trails and was immediately drawn to it, I think because, well, one, I'm in Texas, so it has some personal relevance there. But I also grew up really admiring spaghetti westerns and even movies that maybe seem a little bit cheesy now, like Silverado. So I thought that the blending of the 2 genres was very appealing for me. And there was less content, honestly, out there in the podcast world using Down Darker Trails than just the kind of classic 1920s Call of Cthulhu games. So I thought maybe we could kind of carve out a little niche for ourselves there. I'm really excited about what's happening at Chaosium, and I know they're developing. I've had some interaction with Paul Fricker, and they're developing more kind of mini campaigns for Down Darker Trails. So I can't wait to check those out. So I'm super enthusiastic about the show and really just looking forward to what's coming next. I can't wait for the next episode.
So plenty of chances for special episodes of this show. Canutillo is a real-world town here in Texas. What was there a reason for picking that location?
Yes, so I was looking for a town near El Paso, Texas that had a pretty cool sounding name, and I landed on Canutillo. I was also looking for a crossing. So I wanted a bridge that crosses the Rio Grande, and I saw that there is a bridge that goes across the Rio Grande from Canutillo. And I thought that this would be a good place to open our first episode, which takes place on a railroad bridge. I also like the idea of a border town because I wanted the investigators to kind of start a journey somewhere that was less familiar. And I thought crossing state lines would kind of help propel them into a new setting.
And as we've mentioned, the show premiered on January 14th, so it's out now. Everybody can begin listening. But for those who have not yet, let's talk about who we meet here in this first episode.
Okay, yes, I'm very excited about our players and the characters that they chose, and I left it up to them, and they chose their characters completely independent of one another. But I think that they come together to form a really interesting party. You will meet Ellie Bishop, played by Alex, and she is a deputy sheriff who is trying to avenge her father's death. He was formerly the sheriff in Canutillo, gunned down by Colin Brock, who is introduced as a major antagonist in episode 1. So she is kind of in charge, but she's pretty reserved and quiet and really trying to play her cards correctly, while some of her other characters are more likely to shoot from the hip. You will also meet Jay's character, Lance Kilkenny. He is an Irish outlaw living in Texas. He used to be a member of Colin Brock's gang, so there's some interesting inherent tension there, but he actually rolled over on this gang, so he will be part of our party as well, and he has a nice little character accent, Jay does. You will also meet Jeremiah, who is kind of a mad miner. He's the probably the craziest member of the party, and he has some absolutely fantastic one-liners in the first episode. He's played by Wes, who I previously mentioned has some experience with improv and is actively a member of that scene in Dallas. Really fantastic character. We also meet our drifter, Johnny Rhodes. He's kind of a hobo. Not much is specified about his background or origin, but he is one of our investigators, and he is equipped with only a knife. And he's not very good at any type of combat. So it's going to be interesting to see how he ends up fitting into the big picture of the show. And finally, we have our man of God, our priest, Father Flint Westwater, played by Brandon. He is roaming from town to town, or maybe getting kicked out of every town that he visits, because he is fleecing the townsfolk out of their money. And he is clearly, I think he says, not the best man of God you've ever met. I play all of the NPCs, and I created a little role of narrator to try to bridge some of our scenes and maybe add a little bit of dramatic flair, and having a lot of fun with that. And I think that our players are having fun as well.
What would you say is the overall mission for the team, at least as the show begins?
The mission for the team, as it's understood in our first episode, is to get information out of one of Colin Brock's old gangmates and try to find his location so that Ellie Bishop, our player character, can track him down and carry out her brand of justice. We meet our investigators because they're all part of the same gallows crew. So they're carrying out what's presumed to be an execution on one of these gang members, and that's the scene that I dropped the characters into. And the players weren't privy to any of this before we actually recorded our episode, so it was a lot of fun.
Let's tell everybody who's listening or watching right now how to find your show and where should people go for more information.
You can find our show on pretty much every social media platform as Ain't Slayed, AINTSLAYED. We're most active on Twitter and Facebook currently. We have a Discord channel that's called Ain't Slayed Nobody. If you visit ain'tslayednobody.com, you can find all of the information about downloading our episodes, subscribing to us through Apple or Google Play or Stitcher or any of the major podcast platforms, or you can listen to the episode directly on the website.
And it's only been 3 days, but how has reaction been from those who have tuned in?
The reception for the show so far has been tremendous, and I know it's, especially in this space that's a little bit crowded, it is a slow building process, but I'm very encouraged by feedback we've gotten so far. Really helpful feedback, not just all, praise and positive things. So I think that there is a lot we can work on, and I'm really looking forward to dipping our toes into the scarier elements to try to balance out the humor that was definitely there in episode 1. So I hope that you and your listeners will give us the opportunity to enter your listening rotation. Some of the feedback I got was that the episode starts a little bit slow and then really picks up. So, kind of hang in there with us for the first 10 or 15 minutes and don't give up on us too early, and see if you like it. Send us feedback. I try to answer all questions and reply to all comments that people are leaving on Twitter and Facebook and elsewhere. So do interact with us, and I'll be greatly appreciative.
Cuppy Cup is the name on Twitter, DM of Ain't Slayed Nobody. That's his game. Thank you once again for being here with us today.
Well, thank you. This is a really cool opportunity. I'm delighted that you invited me onto your show, and I'm looking forward to following the rest of your work and to hopefully interacting with some of your visitors.
And if you have not followed the show on Twitter yet, don't wait. Do it right now. If you go to their Twitter page, follow them, and retweet this post, it's dated January 16th. It's a Call of Cthulhu dice giveaway. Sign up for their mailing list, retweet, follow, and you could be one of the 3 winners of this nifty dice set, Lego minifigures not included. You have until the 31st to do that. That does it for this edition of Newsbreak. I'm Chase Irwin. Don't forget, the series premiere of Multiverse Monthly drops right here on Sunday, February 22nd. For all the latest late-breaking stories in the independent RPG world, visit us at d20nn.com. We'll see you next time.